So we go about doing the rest of the business, and we have a collision right here which we need to fix. So this needs to move higher up. Okay, and then I'll increase the depth of this section box, and then let's see what we have here. We'll have to rotate it to get the right angle. All right, let's move it a bit more, and okay, now we'll rotate it to get the front view. And then from this angle, we'll decrease the depth up to this point. And all right, now it looks about fine. So right here, we'll need to move this higher up so we can connect it to the system here. So first we'll need to see what we have for the elevation of this system. So Ctrl C, then I'll select this one and Ctrl V in the elevation point. All right, and then this bit up here that's protruding through the floor, I'll have to hit Ctrl Z to fix this as well. So first I'll delete this part and then Ctrl V in the elevation. Delete. The length of the pipe is decreased, and that's why we get the delete message. It's no worries. So let's go to the plan and edit this section from the plan. So we'll zoom in here, and we'll have to select this part right here and double click on it to open it up. And then I'll hit W plus T to open the view up, and then I'll sort these out and put them next to each other. Then as you can see, we have the cut line right here. All right, then I'll select this pipe here and move it a bit forward. And then I'll select the fitting here, and using the mirror on axis tool, I'll copy and paste it right here. Now I'll have to make sure that we have a 45-degree angle here. All right, so delete this one. 44 point something angle wouldn't be a problem here. All right, so I'll disconnect the fitting and the pipe and select the pipe and put the angle on 45 exact. All right, then connect it to the pipe once again. Then we can select the fitting itself and try mirroring it on the axis once again. All right, separate these two and then click and drag and connect them once again, so we can be sure that the 45 degrees here is fixed. Then we do the same here as well. All right, let's check to see if this part hasn't been connected yet. So we'll drag it over here, and then using tab, we'll have to find the connection point to connect these up and be sure. Now let's proceed for now to see what we have next. You should note that as you progress into the file, the repeated warnings that you get slow the progress down even further. So try to disconnect the warnings first and then you can proceed. But for us now, the file is already light, so we don't need that. All right, I'll open up the visibility graphics menu, and in the Revit links tab, I'll uncheck the boxes and hit OK. And then we have to go to this section in the plan to find the fitting that we need to change. All right, so if we zoom in here in the plan, we can see exactly where it is. The connection point of these two are located in different areas. So we'll have to select this one and drag it until we can align the two connection points, and then we can join the fittings up. And as we said, the reason that we did get the warnings was because the connection lines didn't align correctly. So then I'll go over here and select this pipe, then I'll move it upwards. All right, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. So select it once again and move it up until we get the results. All right. Now after that, we'll go to the fitting on the right. Here we can use the draw pipe option to draw a pipe piece, and then we can use the align tool to connect the center of this with this pipe. Then we can select the piece in the middle and move it upwards so we can connect it to the system. And then we can continue the pipe down so we can connect it to this one as well. All right, so we get a warning, so cancel, and let's get this out of the angle mode, and then we can continue it downwards to connect it here. and then we can join it up with a fitting. Alright, and then we have only this part left on the right, which we'll have to manage later on as well. And that's about it for this piece. Alright, now for a moment I'm going to go here and put the setting of view on shaded, so we can see the piping that we have here, and it can highlight this part, and you can see what exactly we'll have to work with here. Alright, and there we go. So after that, we can just take a look at it from the 3D view and this point of view. And in order to get this as neat as possible, I can go over to the Analyze tab, and from the Show Disconnects option menu, I can uncheck the pipe box and hit OK. So now if you pay attention to the 3D view, you can see how we made a vent for this part and this one as well. And we need another one for this part here too. But because we can't continue it after this point, we'll have to make the vent from the beginning here. If we actually had the option of continuing it, we would have, but for now we'll have to stop short of the siphon here. So now I'll select the siphon, which you can see is here in the plan. Alright, then I'll go over here and select the pipe that we have here, and then I'll create a vertical pipe that's attached to it in order to make a three-way fitting. Let's just go a bit higher up and increase the length. Alright, then after that I'll delete the pipe itself. And the very interesting point here is when you put this in a 45-degree angle, you can be efficient with your space management as well. So I'll go over here and create a cut line that's vertical right here, and then we'll have to wait for the cut to be applied to the plan. Alright, then I'll go here and right click and select go to view, which opens up the cut line for us, and then here we can open this up, drag this down, then we can put the view on fine settings, and then we can open up the view to see what we have right here. So it's right here where we can select the rotate tool and then rotate this based on the center point using an angle of 45 degrees. And then we have to make another 45-degree angle to connect to this. Then it goes straight and up from the side of the column. So now let's open the plan up. We have to bring it over here and then up from the side of the column. So first let's go here and delete this pipe that we have in the middle, and then we can connect the fitting to right here. There we go, and that's just so we can get these as close as possible. Then I can select the align tool and lock this up with this cut line that we have here. Alright, then I can increase its depth. Then I can rotate the direction of the cut, and then right click and go to view. Alright, then after that I can go over to the systems tab and select the pipe tool. Then down here from the mechanical section I'll select the vent from the system type, and then I'll start drawing a pipe in the plan using this angle. Alright, then I can right click on it and select the draw pipe option once again, and then I can connect it to this side. Now I'll select this and move it on top of the pipe on the right so we won't have any collision points. Alright, now from the left side I'll connect it to the pipe system, cancel on this. So once again select the align tool and lock this up with here, and then using the trim tool we'll connect these up as such. Now we just have to check here to see if these have connected or not. Cancel on this. The message says that the pipe is too short. So we can select the piece and move it upwards to increase the length. Now let's try once again. Cancel on this. Alright, now let's select the pipe and disconnect it for a second and move it over here. Alright, so it seems like the problem is from the pipe down here, so we can select and delete it. Then we can right click on the piping here and select the draw pipe option, and then we can finish it over here. Alright, cancel on this,